safe and well, and we pray your blessing upon the city of Jeffersontown and our community. We ask your blessing upon this meeting tonight, upon the mayor and city council members and all those represented here. May your will be done in all that we say and do. Watch over us and guide us, especially be with our first responders for their safety and well-being. For we put all of these things into your hands. Through your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Melissa Boone. Hello.
Hi guys, it's good seeing you. My name is Melissa Boone. I am here to give you information about a community-sponsored endorsed event. So Wilt Week, Officer Wilt was the officer hurt as the first responder in the Old National shooting on April 10th. You should have in front of you a letter that was co-sponsored with a group of local citizens and the Louisville Metro Police Foundation with who we partnered. The idea was St. Matthews came together, Chamber of Commerce, their city, started off as an in-house bank fundraiser, and it exploded from there to a whole week of different activities. The goal of that was to say, as a city, as a community, they united to support this officer. In talking with a couple different community members, we said, let's set up a booth, let's do a tent. I think there was some side conversation about the city wanting to get involved, but what happened was gaslight. And so you guys put on a great event, enjoyed ourselves. We did do a fundraising booth at Gaslight for Officer Wilt. Over $6,000 was raised. There was about 4 or 5 of us that was standing there all weekend long. We have to thank the firefighters, the police, some military members that came up to volunteer to be dunked. So the purpose of this is to give you information about what we have asked of the community. We have partnered with the 501c3. Corporate donations can be accepted that way. We've had so many eager community members who have just donated out of pocket. This is a formal request for the city of J-Town to officially join in the community of Jeffersontown Together for Wilt. That would be a financial contribution. I don't have a form. I'm not asking for a specific number. We've had businesses that have donated a lot of money. Daryl Isaacs, we've had the Backyard Inflatables, we've had Branham Corporation. It's up to the city of J-Town what they would be willing to help. But I think that with Officer Wilt being the Grand Marshal, that J-Town did prompt on some of their television shows and promoted that they're all uniting to help Wilt. I think this would be a great way to show it. So I'm presenting this information, and I will have my number available to the council people, and they can reach out to me. And that's it. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
Does anyone have any comments?
Can we take a donation out of our council funds, maybe?
We can. I looked at that today. We have a REACH program that we have a little bit of money in. We probably have about 40 left in that. I have the mayor's fund that you could probably take a little bit of money out of that, or we can take it out of the council. So whatever y'all's pleasure is, or if you want them to fill out an application and ask for the funding that we normally do in October, that with the REACH program, we can do that as well. But if you want to give something today, it can come out of the council members' money, or it can come out the mayor's money, however y'all want to do this.
Excuse me, Mayor, are you all a 501c?
So we are not, but we have partnered with the Louisville Metro Police Foundation, which they are a 501c3. So any relatable tax documents can be provided through them. They've already invoiced a couple things for us and invoiced a couple businesses. Rebecca Grignon Ricker, who is Officer Peter Grignon's wife, she's the president of that foundation, and she and I have been in direct communication. The partnership, the coordination, getting verbiage has been a long process. So yes, we do have their support. Anything will go through them. The account that we started off with when we thought about sitting on a street corner raising money is a community fundraising account, but that's why we partner through here so we can do bigger and better things.
Gotcha.
That being said, it's the council's pleasure.
What do y'all
Yeah.
think in there?
Have we done anything else in kind besides a cash thing? Have we done anything else to?
Well, we have. We put on a
Prayer
in-kind
vigil.
donation. We've done several things. We had the prayer vigil for him. And of course, we paid the overtime to the police officers and all the refreshments and the people at the community center and that kind of thing. Jeffersonian, we did that for an in-kind donation, but I don't have a figure on it, if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, I think if we've got council funds and we've got to process it, could we consider it when we do the council funds as,
Hey, Bill, how much money
Part
is
of
in
that
the
budget.
council funds right now? Do you know approximately?
20,000.
How much?
20,000.
20,000.
Melissa, you're looking to close this fundraiser out.
Yes.
When?
We would ideally like to have a total within maybe a week or so of we have a volleyball event that J-Town Beach has donated at their facility, not the bar, but the facility, and they're helping us coordinate a fundraising event. So after that's all tallied, we'd like to make an announcement within like a week of what the community has contributed together.
will this be an ongoing effort for years to come? Or
It's
just this
ongoing
is
as of
done?
right now, and if any stragglers want to come in after the beaches event, this is all for Officer Wilt. So I'm not going to say no to anything. The foundation is there. It's not going away, but they have created like what they call a destination landing for the Jeffersontown Together for Wilt. So it'll say, the foundation will get all the donations. So it'll say like, so J-Town Together has donated $4,000 plus the $6,000 from the street fundraising and stuff like that. If you have a longevity where your next meeting, that's fine. They'll accept the money. It may not get that combined recognition to say the city of J-Town has participated specifically in this drive. And that's what it is. I mean, I love seeing everybody out there this weekend. One lady threw her purse at me, ran with one shoe down the street to go get money from the teller because she didn't have enough money to donate and buy a t-shirt. And she was in tears the whole time. And I'm holding this purse. So I love the people in this city.
Mayor, as a former law enforcement, I don't know if this is appropriate at this time. I'd like to make a motion that we, for $1,000.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Jeffersontown will give you
Can I
$1,000.
get clarification? Is that coming out of the council funds or the mayor's special fund?
Yes, out of the council funds.
Okay, thank you.
I saw someone just come in. Did you want to speak, sir? Okay.
Ma'am, before you leave, can you give me the information? Sorry,
He's over there, Melissa.
I can't climb up steps. I'm handicapped. Can you give me your contact information? Who I need to
Okay.
s-
Reading of the minutes, September 5th, 2023.
just-
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from September 5th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. General fund warrant number 1592.
I'll make a motion to approve general fund warrant 1592 as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Road fund warrant number 979.
Make a motion, we approve road fund warrant 979 as distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 754, series 2023.
I'll make a motion for first reading of resolution number 754, series 2023 by title only.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
A resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a one-year contract with Anthem Health Plan, The Standard, Delta Dental, Humana Vision, and BMS for employees' insurance. This being a resolution, Madam Mayor, you may entertain a motion for passage.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. For those of you all that aren't aware, I think that, Holly, did you put something on their desk about the insurance? Okay, if y'all would like to see the figures that we have, if you would just give them a copy of that, Holly, I would appreciate that. Thank you. First reading resolution number 755, series 2023.
Thank you.
Make a motion for first reading of resolution 755, series 2023 by
Second.
title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading resolution number 756. Oh,
What?
We're gonna
gotta
have to
read
read
it.
it.
Sorry,
Read
I was
that.
going
Still on
on.
755.
I was getting in a hurry, Fred.
Calm
I know,
down,
I know.
Carol.
A resolution relating to the approval of a waiver to allow direct access for a new single-family lot to a collector level roadway as transmitted from the Louisville Metro Planning Commission for the following development. Bright Minor Plat, 2713 6 Mile Lane, Mr. Rusi is here to give you a summary, and I will adopt that as my own.
Okay, this is unusual because it's the first time I think I've ever presented a minor plat to city council. But it's
Is
actually,
that mandatory that you do that on a minor plat?
minor plats are typically staff approvable under state law with the planning commission.
Okay.
But in this case, because 6 Mile Lane is a collector level roadway, the land development code requires a waiver because typically they want you to just use an existing, if possible, to try to minimize curb cuts onto or driveways onto a higher level of roadway. So they're here. This is an existing lot. The blue lot's the existing lot, and the green line there is the proposed property line. So it would create I think it's about a 10,000 square foot lot, which is 10,700, pretty typical with other lots in that area. So the green lot is the existing lot that would remain. The blue lot would be the new lot where a new single family residential home can be built. And then the kind of gray up top is a right of way dedication that's required by the land development code. So because their existing deed obviously went to the center line of the roadway.
So there's already, so there's already a building on the green.
On the green, yeah, that's what's indicated there with the asphalt driveway coming to the garage there.
Oh, okay.
So they're proposing to build a new house on the new lot that's proposed.
What's he building, you know?
It'll be a single family residential because that's what the zoning district is, but
I just wondered.
And Steve, because the new lot, the track 2 is empty, that's why there's no code violations or anything like that in this.
correct, yeah, they can create that. The existing lot is large enough. R4 requires 9,000 square foot lots, and that remains as a 20,000 square foot lot. The other one's almost 11,000.
Okay.
So the only thing that we had proposed in that resolution is a condition of approval that the proposed driveway be on the north side, which is to the right on this drawing of the proposed single family home. And I just put a orange square there to indicate a kind of the approximate location of where that house might go. Just because that way it doesn't disturb the existing property that's typically had 70 or 80 feet of green space next to them. And the developer has agreed to that.
That's actually what I was gonna ask, because I know, what is it, 5 feet from property line is where a house can be? I mean, these people are probably living in this house. They know what's coming next to them. They're selling the land, but because of the 5 feet, you asked them, I see 6 feet. So you asked them to put the driveway on that side, so there's a little room between the houses?
Well, it will keep the driveway, the proposed driveway, away from the existing single family house
Well, looks like all
to the south, which is not involved in this. So
Fair enough.
since they're going to put a new curb cut there, they felt it would be more appropriate next to the existing house that's a part of this development.
They're not involved. Okay.
Yeah. So that adjacent property to the left there is not a party to this minor plat.
So then that is a binding element.
So that's, condition of approval binding element
Copy of
in
that.
the
Thank you.
resolution. So that's
Brandon,
what we had put
buildings,
into the
okay.
resolution there.
So moved.
All in favor?
Gotta get second. You gotta get a
Second.
You said second.
I said so moved.
Oh, so moved. I thought somebody already made it. Did I hear a second?
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. First reading of resolution number 756, series 2023.
Make a motion, we have first reading of resolution 756, 2023. As distributed.
Second.
All in favor?
Uh,
Opposed? Motion carried.
A resolution relating to the execution of a lease to permit use of parking lot for public use. By way of summary, this is the lease for a parking lot that the city is going or anticipates leasing. And this is the authorization to do that.
Where's
Where's the
this?
parking lot?
Behind,
This is the one behind Quills.
behind Quill's office.
Okay,
and-
so we
We are leasing it, or are they leasing it from us?
We are
We're
leasing
leasing
it from them.
We are
I'm
leasing it.
confused on that.
They
We're,
are- Me too.
we're leasing parking lot behind where Johnny V's, Quills.
Yes.
We're gonna lease that. Why are we
Why?
doing that?
It's
Because
a-
he won't let us park on it.
And from what I understand, and the only reason I know this is because we had looked at the Gaslight, but the Gaslight also pays $500 a month to lease that parking lot. So how many actual spots are you gonna get?
I did actually call 'em. Yeah, I was gonna say, we did. I
And
did.
how much are we paying? How much is?
600.
600.
600 a month.
What it is the owner of the lot is different than the owner of the building.
Oh, I
So the
understand
tenants
that.
are
Different people.
paying
And
for
where's
that
he-
lot, but.
But I
the
understand
gas
that.
light Shuts down at
And where's he gonna
3
park his
o'clock in the
cars?
afternoon.
Then he's making men off that lot.
On our lot that we're leasing.
500, 600?
He's gonna park his cars on our lot that we're paying for him to park his cars on. Is that the deal?
Well, and I think, what if a business like Johnny V's comes in to
Right.
Gaslight Diner?
Right.
That parking lot was packed with
All the
his
time.
All the time.
customers.
Fact.
And why are we gonna be paying
Yeah.
for
Agreed.
those businesses' customers to park
As long as the
there?
lease.
It's a year, 1 year.
I know we need
Were they gonna
parking in
hire
the
somebody
city,
to
but I
police
don't
that
know
lot?
if that's.
Huh? I don't know. I mean, I think he's making, I mean, how much is he charging Quills to park there? So
I
then
have
you
no
get, he's
idea
making
what he's
money off
charging.
Quills, he's making money off of Gaslight, he's making money off of the city.
I was gonna say, are we gonna be the sole leaser?
Let's
Oh.
see.
Lessee.
Yes.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Try
But
to-
then what? Then then we're paying for all the Gaslights people to park there?
The city, excuse me. By the way, I didn't do this. Okay, just for everybody's information. But I do know about it and I'll explain it to you. This is a parking lot that the city was going to lease pursuant to the streetscape
Mm-hmm.
in order to enhance the parking spaces that we have. And as I understand it, it is well, I don't understand it. I've read it. It's a 1-year lease for $600 a month with renewals. And we will be the sole lessee. Now, if the city wanted to, it could put a person out there to collect money. It could put a guardrail up. It could stop other people from using it. It will be the sole use of the city of Jeffersontown, assuming you all approve this.
Is the plan to use it for public parking for downtown to try to attract
That's the-
business?
That's
what
what
it's
the
supposed
plan
to
is.
be
on.
for.
Yes, sir.
I'm still confused.
Yeah,
And
because even if they're going there to eat, they're coming to J-Town and parking.
we're still paying
Where?
for the Gaslights parking.
they
and
go
we're
to
still paying for
Gaslight or
Quills.
whatever.
No,
goes
the
in there.
Gaslight, nobody else can lease this property from them during the period of time that the city.
Nobody can lease it, but unless you put a guy out there that's gonna cost you less than $600 a month to control it, you're not gonna
Agreed.
get anybody to work for $600 a month.
Gaslight
And my
closes in the
question is, I
afternoon.
know Gaslight, when I look through their finances, that they pay to rent that lot every month. So now he's gonna tell them they don't have to pay?
He
don't know
won't
if
have
Seth
any,
pays
the
or not.
owner won't have any say. The lessee will have, being the city, if you all decide to do this, the city will have control of that lot. So they cannot charge anybody anything for it. City could charge, the festival for it.
Hey, Fred, let me interrupt for a second. I think
Restaurant,
Ron
Gaslight.
has
the
something
restaurant,
to add to that.
Restaurant.
That has nothing to do with this lot.
Yeah, it
This is
was.
the
Yes,
lot-
it does. The Gaslight
This is
Diner.
the lot right behind Quills. It's not the
That's where
balance.
Gaslight
I know
is.
exactly what it is,
Gaslight.
But the Gaslight
Trying
Diner
park.
pays $500 a month to lease
To
that
rent
parking
their
lot.
spot, Trina,
They can
not
s-
the spot behind, not behind Quills.
That
No,
row.
behind, that's what they told. Behind, when we used to go in the back door at Johnny V's,
Yeah.
that's
That
what the
is
gas.
Gaslight.
That parking lot, right? It's-
Okay,
that's the
I can
It's
ex-
that parking
It's
lot.
only where the building
Brian, do
is
you
for
have something to
Quills.
share?
Only the section behind.
Can I
Quills.
finish
Only the
this?
section behind Quills.
Assuming arguendo that the city decides to do this, then they can't, the current owner of that property cannot charge anybody, including the diner, to park there.
What she's saying though is we're renting a lot for the tenants to have parking there.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why you all are
What
making.
are you gonna say, Brian? I'd
Fine,
like
go
to hear
ahead.
your
Mayor,
insights.
council, the owner of the Quills building, I'm sorry, the owner of the lot, which has 18 spaces on that, had contacted me several months ago about the fact that Trina's correct that the Gaslight Diner was leasing that property, but they did not want to continue the lease any further.
Mhm.
So the Quills company was also contacted to see if they wanted to split the lease. And the lease at that time was about $500 a month plus the taxes on the property. Okay, that's why I have,
Okay.
but
Okay,
they
I got
figured
it.
it out. Anyway, being a private lot, the owner of that property could put a fence around it and keep anybody from parking there if he wanted to. And so I spoke to Matt Munet about that because we were looking for possibly doing the same thing in other parts of the city. That would give us 18 spots for an inventory. Having additional inventory parking spaces helps future businesses coming into Jeffersontown, like the one across the street at the Feast. So
Which
if
is
somebody's
Dickey's
coming in there and they
Barbecue.
need more parking, they can count that inventory right across the street because it is public parking at that point. So I've heard the conversation or comments that, well, people at the Gaslight Diner or the Quills will fill it up. But it's possible, yes, they could. Or people from Chenoweth could, or anyone else coming in town could. To fill whoever, it's basically first come, first serve. No difference than what we do at the beach down there. First come, first serve. But it goes into our inventory, so it helps when a business comes in. And let's just say their development plan needs more spaces than what they have, according to Steve, who's back here. I believe they can count those spots, right, Steve? If it's over there, yeah. That's part of what we did with the CTC2 zoning years ago.
You have to have so many parking spots per place that you're going to develop. And if it doesn't have it on there, and if it's adjacent or close to, then you can count that, Steve. Is that the way I'm understanding?
Yeah.
So that's why they're saying this for Dickey's Barbecue, which is across the
And
street.
it doesn't even have to be adjacent, but it can be within walking distance, further away. No difference than the same people can count the places, parking spaces next to El Napal, because that's our parking. But everyone knows that it pretty much fills up with El Napal people.
Yeah, El Napal
But it
takes our
still
parking now.
counts. And it keeps, in that way, it keeps us from saying no to a business because of lack of parking. It gives us more inventory. But Matt, I gave head to Matt to let him go with it because that's what he does in the downtown area. And so that's that's where I dropped off. I just want to make sure that there was no
Okay.
mischaracterization of it. So.
Steve, you have something to say about it?
I was just going to say that our regulation allows within 1,000 feet, linear feet is what we had done. So, we've got the lot behind the Korean church, that's a public lot. So I go through and as new businesses come in, if they're expanding and need more parking based on the land development code, I can assign spaces out of those lots so that they're still in compliance with the land development code. But that helps them by not having to have it on site because these are such small lots here. And
Right.
Hey, Steve, when we assign those spaces, we don't like double dip, do we?
no, I don't. And I keep a list of who's utilizing what lots. Typically, you only have to provide the extra parking based on a change in use to something that has a higher, if you go from an office space to a restaurant that has a higher parking requirement. So I assign those and I have a list of each lot that we lease or own and assign people based on that. It's not that people have to park there, but it's so we don't exceed capacity.
Do those 18 spots today count towards any of those inventories anywhere on the existing businesses?
They don't because right now that's a private parking lot. It's on a separate lot than any of those buildings around there. So it's really not ever been assigned to anything.
I think no one here was aware that that is a separate
Separate
owned
lot.
piece of
Yeah,
property.
it's its
that
own-
Doesn't go with anything up there.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
kind of unusual because the owner of that lot has that little car lot across the
Oh, okay.
Peach
Yeah.
Peach
Alley,
Alley. So,
So makes sense.
he owns both of those.
Does he own the one behind Cutes too?
No, I think that's actually Coots owns that. There's two lots there that,
Who's parking at that lot right now? Who is using it right now?
Quills.
which,
The lot
You're
that
that we're talking about. It's probably a combination of Quills, Gaslight
Oh,
Diner
Okay,
When they're open.
and,
Yes.
because they have a right to, because they're leasing it, I guess.
if they're leasing it, yes, but there are no signs up.
Yeah, there's no signs that we
About
know.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So anybody pretty much, if, for the feast lot, Dickies, they could
back
walk
and use it.
across the street or El Nopal person could.
Everybody thinks it's public parking.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Everybody does. And
Yeah.
it's not.
So
They're not open.
from what I hear,
during the
it sounds
Because
like,
they're not open during the evenings.
I was gonna say, it sounds like everyone already assumes it's public parking, but the benefit to the city by leasing it is that we can count it in our inventory.
And we can post signs saying.
We can
it's
keep it
public
open.
parking.
Yeah.
And that restaurant coming in across back where Feast is, are they gonna do any kind of development that they would lose some of their parking?
So that's why we need to pick up the spots.
That's what I'm
But
thinking.
my
Yeah, how many
understanding
spots
that-
do they need?
To my understanding, that development is just gonna go in as is. They're not gonna make any revisions to the site.
And the Gaslight Diner does have 4 spots that are theirs behind that restaurant. They don't need to use that spot. Some of their workers may on occasion, or patrons may on occasion, but they may park out front as well.
And how many spots does Dickies have to have?
I'd have to go back and calculate that because that lot is,
They're in
I think
compliance
they're in compliance now with either on-site or using some of the parking. Probably for them, I think I probably assigned this parking lot over here, which is public parking. But
I'd like
they
to
are
make a
in
motion.
compliance. It's based on square footage, so
Hey,
I'd
Vince,
have to go
I think
back
there's
and
some more
look at
questions.
that.
I
Is
got one
the,
more question.
asphalt parking lot, is it in good shape? I haven't been over there.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next.
I've not been involved in this, so I
Or-
haven't
and
been
where
over there to
we would
look at
be
it.
in-
From what I've
Think so.
recall from parking there on weekends, it's in fairly decent shape, I believe.
Would we
But-
be responsible for
That's a good question.
maintaining it?
Yeah, that was gonna be my question about
Yes.
maintenance.
If you'll look in your packet, I believe the verbiage is laid out on who's responsible for how much percentage of
It
it.
is.
The city attorney
Well, it's on our.
would know that
screen
much
now.
more than me. But I think we're responsible for the upkeep of the lot. I don't know if we're upset for, or responsible for 100% of the paving if it has to be. It may be a percentage. But Mr. Fisher could answer that.
You want me to read the whole thing?
In the lease?
We'll be happy to.
You might need to.
The lessee, that's us, shall maintain the parking lot on a regular periodic basis. The lessee shall also remove snow as needed, stripe and otherwise maintain the asphalt surface of the lot. In the event, in the event that the lot needs to be totally repaved, the lessee shall be responsible for the repaving, with the lessor, that being the person that owns it, being responsible for 40% of the total cost thereof.
I was gonna make a motion to say that we pass this with the stipulation that we won't pay any more than $10 a month to have this thing on our books. But since it's gonna cost us way more than that for paving and striping and all this, I'm not gonna make that motion, and I'd make a motion we deny this thing, but I don't know if you can do that or not. But
You can.
I'm making a motion that we don't approve this resolution 756 series 2023 as
Second.
written.
All in favor? Opposed?
I'd like a little bit more discussion, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah,
If Brian is saying he's started this and Matt's in there, they gave a lot of money or information about the economic development around. I don't know. I was gonna say, do we need to wait for Matt? But then I heard all the other stipulations too. I thought we were just renting a lot.
Yeah.
And I know that the businesses there are pretty much closed during the evening when people come to the downtown area.
Hopefully where they're not going to be, Tim. Hopefully that this,
And right now, the property back there, it has to be blacktopped and striped, right? There's no, it's just a big lot. There's no striping to tell where you can park.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
If you were to go to Logic and look at an aerial view, you'll see 18 spots. You'll see they're clearly marked.
From the air, but are they clearly marked when I'm on the property?
Oh, yes, you can see it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we passed, so it's done deal, I guess.
okay, so I have a motion.
We have a motion that's already passed. Motion to deny and it passed.
Oh, I didn't hear everybody
didn't-
say.
Everybody said.
I was
No, they
second.
didn't.
Mayor, I would say we need to do a roll call.
I agree. Kevin?
No,
You-
hang on, let me do it.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you. I get to do one thing anyway.
Good decision.
I call them in so that we don't go in certain orders, but Kevin, you will start. Councilman,
I would be on Vince's motion.
you would be,
That means yes, you want
Yeah.
to pass it.
Or no,
Or no, you don't want
motion
it.
to pass.
no, I do not. Yeah, I do not want to pass it.
Oh, you do not. So you're voting no.
Wait a second.
Wait a minute.
My motion is to
Was to
deny.
Yes.
Deny.
Is to
There we go,
deny
yeah.
this, deny this. So you're saying yes, deny.
Yes to deny, yes.
Oh, okay. So your vote is either yes, you want to deny it, or no, you don't want to deny it.
Correct.
That makes more sense. Yes, I want to deny.
Okay.
Yes, deny.
Pam? Yes.
Pam Hickey,
Yes. Say it.
Yes,
Um,
deny.
Pam Ware.
Before I yes or no this, Bill, we can't see the whole resolution here and I can't pull it up on my phone.
Here, I got
Can I get a refresher? There we go. Like,
Was-
what was it?
There's the whole
per-
resolution right there.
It just says we maintain.
What was it per year?
we
That's
go.
what I want to see the.
It was 7,200
wasn't it?
$7,200
for five,
per
for
year.
5 years, for the first 5 years.
Okay.
And then it goes up.
And then it goes up.
It's, yeah.
Fred, did you say this was for a year for the lease?
It's 10 years. I was looking at the original one. that
Okay.
we
Oh,
started
10
with.
Yeah, that-
10 years.
5 years at
10 years.
700 and then,
5 years,
10
it's,
years.
yeah.
Oh, did they knock the downtown
5
development?
years is 700, 600 to start. And then after 5 years, it goes up to 700.
Okay, I am going to say,
Yes, deny.
yes.
Yes
that's
to
what you
deny
said.
this.
Deny, yes, deny.
Okay.
Does the city currently lease any other public parking lots?
We're going to.
We do today.
Where?
Which ones?
Yeah.
I do know, the Korean church, we lease that property,
Mhm.
that parking lot. I think, behind Third Turn, we lease that, parking. Those are the two that we lease that I know of. The one behind the
When it's
beach
gonna
we
come up.
own.
So, and is the rate that we're paying?
Heavy downtown parking, we're not going to get any business.
Yeah, I was gonna say the rate that we're paying on this lot, is it comparable to what we're paying on all those lots?
I think the Third Turn is $1 a year. if I'm-
That's $1 a
I-
year.
I
There you
believe
go.
so.
$1 a year?
There was
Like
your
$1.
But the Korean church lot,
I'm sorry, there's a term, it does, it's not in perpetuity.
Okay.
That dies out. I think it sunsets in 3 more years.
and was that part of, I guess, with our development with
That was part of
Jetta,
the development.
Yeah. with their lease to buy, or their
Yes,
their
but
lease
as far
payments
as
to buy?
the cost on the spots, yes, this would be comparable to everything else that we're doing.
Gotcha.
This amount is comparable to what?
What we already
The
are
other-
paying.
Yes, ma'am.
We're
to the
doing it
other
other
lots.
places.
Right, and anything you would lease in the future that you're not able to purchase. And by the way, he's not interested in selling.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because we do have
Tried
some
to
lots
buy
that
it.
we own, right? I think we put one in behind the beach, and then one next to Ellen Powell. Those are
Yes.
owned city
The one
lots.
where the beach is parking, that's going to be a real big issue because it's going to come up.
What do you mean? We're leasing that. The beach is
Right
leasing
now
it.
you are.
Well, I mean, we're leasing it right now.
I'm saying they're going to come to the city.
Huh?
They're going to come to the city. Y'all not taking care of that business, of that lot. Y'all
How do
don't,
you know? It's being taken care of right now. It looks very nice.
you don't pave it and all that.
We're not in charge of paving it.
Maybe you don't know which one I'm talking about. I'll talk to you after.
All right. I have a question though. Is the police station, once that old building is gone, will that be a parking lot also?
Yeah, that's
So
public.
that's pretty
Not where
big.
the buil- not
How
where the
many
building is.
spots
It's
on
the parking lot in front that's
When we-
existing. That becomes the public lot. The building itself, I think, becomes enclosed for police parking, secured parking.
How many spots down there that are going to be public?
I have not counted. The ones that will be public next door will be where the police officers currently park.
Okay.
Yes.
And I don't know how many spots that will be. I'm
Chief, do you
thinking
know?
maybe 30 at the most.
It's more than up here.
Chief, do you know?
Maybe 30 to 40. at the
Okay.
most.
I'll say at least.
Do we have an estimate? I know I haven't voted yet. I got all these questions.
It's like,
Do we have an estimate of like when we would have to stripe and pave and what that cost would be?
No, sir. Again, Matthew was handling that. He may have a better idea on timing and cost on that. I hand it off to him because that's really what he does.
Yeah, so I'll tell you guys, I'm torn on this because I do think we need downtown parking. I think ideally it'd be great if we owned the lot versus lease, but because we already lease lots, it's not anything outside of what we already do. Right. So like, and it's, $7,000 a year for the first 5 years. If we go past the first year,
A lot of money.
what about like the other lots? I didn't, unless I missed it. How many spots are those that we?
Yeah, behind the
lease?
Korean place, how many spots is that? You said,
But it's the same.
You
you
per
said,
spot.
is it 18 spots? You said this is comparable.
No, that's more than that.
There's more than that.
I get many more. Steve, It's a lot
It's
more than an
definitely a lot
agreement.
more,
I
yeah.
understand
We have,
that.
we have
We still-
we have an agreement on that.
But I understand that but if we're getting a whole bunch more spots over there, 40 spots or whatever, and we're paying the same amount we are for this lease and we're only getting 18 spots.
I
that
don't know
makes
what
no
we're
Oh, no,
sense.
saying.
when I said I meant comparable per parking
spot.
So
Okay.
$33 a spot is comparable? That's what it is? That's what
Probably,
this
yes, because
is?
we actually
Oh.
paved the entire lot over there.
No, we paved it and lined it or something.
Right.
That was
Okay,
our
we
exchange.
That was part of it.
And that's
We don't pay a
honestly-
lease.
Oh.
For the,
And that's honestly what I would recommend. I know, Mark, it's your turn to vote, but
We'll
that's what
just
I would
take care of it.
recommend as somebody who
Yeah.
is really working to try to help build this downtown. You know, Matt's energetic, Brian's helping. We all got a game plan of trying to make this a destination. Maybe this agreement we don't agree with, but maybe we can go back to the table.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
kind of what I
we
was
get
thinking too,
rid
Tim.
of some of these things on the lease and say, hey, we'll give you $400 a month if you want it paved and lined. We'll
Yeah.
give you, like, let them do their magic. I
maybe
mean,
I
if we
can,
voted down now, we voted down, but let's say we're still at the table. Can you bring us something new next?
maybe I
meeting or
can
something.
enlighten you a little bit. Someone who is watching this today just text me. And if we don't do it, then they're going to put a used car lot there.
No,
And you know what? What are they threatening?
I was
you?
gonna say,
I don't care. I'm just trying to get
No.
businesses down here.
That will never
They
pass.
cannot put a used car lot there.
say,
Okay.
That property is zoned CTC two.
And they cannot do
Yeah,
that.
there's no car
Cannot-
lots
they-
allowed.
They have
I mean, the
non-conforming
center-
rights across the street, but they
threats.
cannot put a used car lot because that's not an allowable use in the
Probably.
CTC two.
That's
And
wrong.
this is just
So they
used as a
can't do it?
parking lot.
Okay.
No, they
Well, that's
cannot
very
do that.
disrespectful for somebody to text you that.
Um,
Sounds like a threat to me.
So I guess back to me to vote, right? I actually, what Tim was saying was actually what I was thinking. You know, I think the way that it is for leasing, I'm not opposed to, but I'm not a big fan of the maintenance. And if I don't know those numbers and what that cost would be, I can't add that into what our future costs would be. And
I
so
can
that,
tell you what the future cost would be about paving. Jimmy can tell you that because our public works does it. How much would it cost to pave that lot? How often?
Carol. Negotiate on, negotiate with the leaser at the, you know, this stuff. Let's
Okay.
not do the numbers
just
right
wondered
here
how
if
much-
he's
how
listening and
much it would be.
threatening
Right.
on the camera.
I mean, my question is, I don't understand why the Korean place and who else do we lease from that all we have to do is maintain their properties? But this gentleman wants us to maintain the property and pay him $800 a month, but nobody else, I mean, the other properties we just maintain.
yeah, and that's kind of where I feel is I don't like the maintenance piece of it.
Yeah.
Right.
In addition, so I'll vote with the four that have already voted. So whatever they voted, I'm doing that. Cause I think it's a yes for a no.
Yes to decline.
Yeah, I think it's a yes. I think it's a yes for a no.
Yeah, that's
So
correct.
I'm with them. So thank you all for bearing with me.
And I'm with the first five here, whatever they said.
Deny.
Deny, yes.
Yeah.
Yes to deny, and I think I've explained my opinion of going back to the table.
Yes.
Yes to deny, and I know I've been overwhelming, but
Well,
I'm sorry.
By a vote of 8-0, the motion is to deny.
Okay, next thing on the agenda. Oh, my. Second reading of ordinance number 1443, series 2023.
I make a motion for second reading of ordinance 1443, series 2023 by title only.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
An ordinance relating to annexation to the city of Jeffersontown, Kentucky, a certain tract of land in the county of Jefferson adjoining the present city of Jeffersontown, Kentucky, and being adjacent to and contiguous with the present boundary of said city, and more particularly hereinafter described. It's the Brookhurst subdivision. This particular annexation occurred in 2022. We just got it back from the city of Louisville pursuant to, Metro government pursuant to KRS 67C 111 with an approval. And this being a second reading, you may proceed with a motion to pass or not.
Hear a motion?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Second reading of ordinance number 1444, series 2023.
I make a motion to approve second reading by title only, ordinance number 1444, series 2023.
Second.
I have a couple questions about that. Is this the bond thing?
Yes.
Okay. And this might, I know you had brought something up, Tim, about like the interest on these. I think I know they're a lot lower.
Yeah, very low.
And on the terms on those, as far as how long you pay on them, are they better? Are they negotiable? I guess they all
You
are.
can pay them off anytime you want to.
Okay, there's no prepayment
There's no
on any of
prepayment. It's
those.
3.5%. Well, right now we think it's 3.5. We don't know
We
what it's
don't
going to
have-
be.
we don't
Oh,
have
here
the
you go. You want to talk? You tell us. This is our bond council. Good.
Speak slowly.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Kelly Mercer with Baird. So these are fixed rate bond issues. So, right now the Fed is meeting tomorrow and today and tomorrow. So when you sell bond issues, they're sold competitively. And what you're guaranteed is that you'll award the bond issue to whoever provides you the lowest interest rate when you sell the bond issues. Right now, we think that interest rate's around 4%, fixed rate for the term of the bond issue.
Mhm.
Bonds are a little different than mortgages. Mortgages tomorrow, if interest rates are lower, you can go refinance it at no penalty. The bond issue, you'll have about 7 years before you can refinance it or prepay it with no penalty. So in 7 years, if you choose to pay it off, you can do that, principal is outstanding with no penalty.
Okay. I was wondering. Well, I knew that we were trying to get grants and other things. I just was wondering.
We won't get grants enough to pay that off.
Well, or just, I didn't know what was,
Right.
I didn't know how long the term was on it.
It's a 20-year bond right now.
Okay.
We want to amortize it to fit your cash flow. So obviously a payment, if you shortened the term of the bond issue, you'd have a much higher annual debt service payment. And working with Mr. Fox and Ms. French, we felt that the 20-year bond payment fits well within the financial budget that makes sense for the city.
I'm going to say my 2 cents worth, whether y'all want to hear it or not, I don't care, but I'm going to say it. We had a bond issue, and last year I asked to do a bond issue at 2%. We had one that was paid off at almost 0%, and we paid it off. Had we not paid the bond issue off and we carried it on, we'd be borrowing on that issue today, and we wouldn't have the interest rates of 4%. And if I'm dead or alive, whatever, anybody that would vote to pay off a 4% interest rate, they need to go see a psychiatrist, because that's just, the interest rates are so high, 7-8%. If interest rates fall back down, then they need to, and can we refinance that bond?
100%. And then also while the money's sitting there, we're going to earn something right now. So short-term rates are actually higher than long-term rates.
So we put that money in the bank. That's why I understood it. We're
Yes,
going to
ma'am.
earn money off of that money.
But 7 years, we have to wait 7 years before we can refinance it.
That we're refinance it or prepay it, correct?
Okay.
So there's still
However,
to
we're
invest.
taking the money and putting it in the bank, and the bank is going to pay us higher than what the money that we're borrowing. So why would you want to pay that off?
Okay.
You have a
Okay, okay.
3-year limitation for the 2-year to make arbitrage. Yeah.
Okay.
2 years to arbitrage. But 3 years, they want you to spend the bond proceeds. But I
Right.
don't think there's any problem on that. But so investors buy those bond issues. So when an investor buys it, they want to know a certain number of years that you're going to guarantee that principal and interest payments. But this is well below, just to give you an idea. I'm working on a 2-year note for a water district in Western Kentucky. They got a bid of 5.5% for 2 years. So we're talking about doing a 20-year bond for around 4% for you guys.
Okay.
So it
It might
actually is
not
better
even
to
be
do a
that. It
longer,
could be 3 and
a longer
3/4.
term bond issue.
And we don't know what the interest rates are till we go to the selling of the bonds.
Correct.
And then we'll go down there when the bond is sold. Anybody that wants to come down there with us are more than welcome to watch the bonds be sold. And then we'll know. Am I not right on that, Fred?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Thank you.
Yeah. And like I said, the Fed's meeting right now. So what they do as far as their interest rate hike, this meeting today and tomorrow, I believe it's announced tomorrow, will really help us see where the market is.
Okay.
Also, you said our rating would be out Friday.
Yes, sir. So Ms. French and Mr. Fox and I worked on the rating call the week before last and the credit rating agencies. So when you sell a capital market bond issue, you have to get a credit rating, and that will be public on Friday morning. We're expecting a very high credit for the Commonwealth for a strong rating. Yeah, I mean, in the Commonwealth, as far as the
We have a good credit rating, right?
Yeah, in the Commonwealth, you'd be a leading credit in the
Right.
state.
Right.
Yeah. because some credits in the A are in the A category. We think you'll be in the double A. So you'd be a premier credit for a Kentucky, credit.
Which lowers our
Mhm.
interest rate.
Correct.
Kind of like.
I'm just hung up on the
kinda
mortgage
like
thing,
When we go to take somebody to get a loan,
That's
the
what
better
I'm
your
hung
credit
up on.
score, the better rate you have.
Right, okay.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Where were we at?
I think you had a first and a second.
We had a first and second.
Thought we had a motion and, yeah,
Haven't had a
motion
reading
for
yet.
first reading by title.
Yeah, I think we need
We
to
had
read.
questions before the
We
vote.
haven't had a reading yet.
Has there been a vote on
Yeah, we had a vote on the
We
reading.
got a roll and having a reading.
You haven't read it.
it? I know that. I was just referred to, I believe, as one of Mr. Fox and Friends, but
He is.
an ordinance of the city of Jeffersontown, Kentucky, authorizing the issuance of city of Jeffersontown, Kentucky general obligation bonds, series 2023, in an aggregate principal amount not to exceed $10 million, the bonds, for the purposes of A, financing the cost of acquisition, construction, installation, and equipping of one, a police station located at 104110 Taylorsville Road, Jeffersontown, Kentucky, and two, an amphitheater located at 10721 Old Taylorsville Road, Jeffersontown, Kentucky, and B, paying the cost of issuance of the bonds, approving the forms of the bonds, authorizing designated officers to execute and deliver the bonds, authorizing and directing the filing of a notice or notices, state local debt officer, providing for the payment and security of the bonds, establishing bond payment funds for the bonds, establishing a sinking fund, and authorizing acceptance of the bid of the purchaser for the bonds.
So moved.
This being a second reading, you may entertain a motion for passage, Madam Mayor.
Vince will move. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Mayor, with respect to the next item on the agenda, the
Right.
ordinance relating to compensation and classification, we are withdrawing that at this time. There are various items within the descriptions that need to be adjusted, changed, and amended. So rather than bring this back another time, we're going to do that over the next couple of weeks and then have a clean copy for it. So this will not be addressed this evening.
Okay.
So can I ask a question?
Or-
So the $10 million that is going to guarantee the amphitheater and the police department will both be finished?
No.
Oh, no.
Not at all.
Okay.
The only thing that's going to be finished out of that will be the police department. The amphitheater will be worked on, but the amphitheater is going to be on pause. We need a police department. We don't need an amphitheater. So we'll do what we can finish out with the amphitheater and we'll do what we can and we'll go from there.
Wait a second. We got 10 million from the feds. And we got 10 more million we're borrowing, and that's not enough to complete these two projects?
No, sir.
Woo! Who said no, sir?
Who said no, sir?
Just Fox.
Amphitheater's.
Exactly
almost-
right.
Amphitheater's almost
y'all.
$12 million and the police department's right at 15 million. So that's 27 million.
How much does the amphitheater cost, you say?
Amphitheater cost about 12. The police department cost 15. That's 27. We had somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 14 million with the CARES and all the money we'd saved up. So 24 million, we may be short a little. It just depends on what they're going to spend the money on.
But we could be close.
We're going to be close. We estimated that's what it would take. That's not taking into account any probably inflation or anything else that may occur during this time period for the next year and a half or two.
And we're hoping our third quarter revenue is up and it shows better than what we thought. We're hoping for the best and preparing for the worst.
So the amphitheater, it will not be finished to the point where anything can happen down there? Nothing?
There's a bid that's going to be let on it on Friday of this week. And Fred and I just had that conversation before we came down here tonight. It's going to be let, but I don't think it's going to be opened, but it's not going to be let. Am I right in saying that correctly, Fred?
Not going to be what?
I'm
Let.
sorry.
Right. The
Well,
bid on
the-
Friday,
No, it won't be. Oh, you're talking about the bids on the
on the amphitheater.
on the amphitheater.
We're going to open that on
Yes,
Friday, but
it's
we're
gonna
not
be
going to,
open, but the contracts are not going to be let
right. That's what I said.
because that part is on pause right now.
It's on pause.
So none of the amphitheater is usable or will not be usable even after we take out this $10 million bond?
Yes, parts of it will be.
Well,
You
if
just
we
want-
gotta have a parking lot, if not, they're gonna have to drive through the mud. I
would
mean, we
say
gotta have a parking lot,
The-
right?
Field
the
7 is
next
gonna be
phase
demolished and
is-
made into a parking lot, and there is some parking at the top of the amphitheater. This phase is being bid, Bill, if I may be mistaken, I think this phase was additional parking.
Yes.
It was
This,
the other parking lot in the
this
back.
phase is,
And
just
it
to let
is,
you know.
it is on hold.
So if we're
This-
taking out $10 million and we really need $13 million, why don't we just take out $13 million and get everything
Cause you
done?
can't.
Okay.
Well, it's a bank
You can,
qualified.
but you get a lot higher interest rate if you go over $10 million. That's your cutoff.
So we're just gonna leave the amphitheater just sit there?
No, we'll have money in future budgets.
Oh, in future budgets.
Because
we'll
every
have money.
year
Okay.
we'll have
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll have future.
future
money.
budgets to
Okay,
finish it
right.
off.
And grants. And grants.
You
and
did,
things like
okay,
that.
okay, thank you, Holly.
In this phase that they're doing is additional parking and the Great Lawn. You know, setting it up
That's not
so
gonna
that
be
you can
done.
have events there. But it's not the walkways or some of the other things, the other amenities that we have down there at this point, and additional parking down at the bottom of the creek. So we do really need to do this next phase in order to make it useful, but it can be put on hold for a little bit because it's going to be winter. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, thank you, Bill.
Okay, committee reports. Pam Ware.
I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Y'all have been here long enough. Thank you, Public Works. Thank
Yes.
you, J-Town Police. Thank you, Chamber. Thank you, volunteers for a wonderful gaslight. I'm done. Next.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing and I felt super safe
Yes.
with all the police presence for sure. Okay, I'm done.
Yep. Nothing from finance, but I echo everything Pam said. You guys and gals, everybody did great. So really appreciate it. The insurance committee, we met last Tuesday, recommended Anthem, which we already passed tonight. And then the property maintenance code and land development code ad hoc committee meeting met. We had good discussion around scope of what we're going to do. And we recessed until November 2nd at 4 p.m. Nothing else to report.
Allison.
Legislative has nothing, but I want to also say thank you to Public Works and the police and Gaslight and all the volunteers. It was a great weekend and great week.
Thank you. Tim.
Economic development has nothing to report, and thank y'all.
You're welcome. Trina.
Wait one
And-
second.
oh.
I'm sorry. Don't you, I saw Saturday was canceled, Emily, for the
Yes.
night. Is there something else you need to introduce or talk about? I don't know if the park is paying us doing that.
The night market was something I talked about in February, and then June went really great, and then July was really great. And then August, I just kind of ran out of time, just because I need more than a month to plan these out. But I thought, oh, at least 2 months from July to September. But then I looked at Louisville's calendar. You got Paris Town Flea, you got the Asian Market in Nulu, you got Beer Fest, you got Oktoberfest. Because I was getting like 6 vendors signed up when I usually have 30. And I was just, it wouldn't be fair to all the food trucks and the breweries and the band and all these people that I pay from my budget to show up when I'm going to be fighting against the entire metro, with everything that they have going on. And it wouldn't be fair to the vendors that do show up. So I just decided to shelve it, and save my losses and then just kind of push for a different event. So unfortunately, I did have to cancel it, but everyone is very understanding. And I'm just going to focus on all the stuff Debbie and I have planned for October. But next year will be a lot more organized because I can start planning next summer, next fall, next month. You know,
We'll get them
everything's
next year.
fine. It's just
Well,
Thank
thanks.
you.
Is there something
Yeah.
between now and our next meeting an event that you need to let us know about, or are we?
I
You
gave
said
you guys
October.
a list last council meeting of all the
Yes, thank you,
October
Bruce.
stuff, but
Yep.
I'd be happy to send you guys
Yeah.
another email because we got some.
All right.
Just
Thank you.
yeah, Pumpkin Fest being on Friday, so we'll
I
send you
saw
guys
that.
an
That was
email.
cool.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trina.
Administration has nothing, and thanks everyone ditto, all them.
Kevin?
No, planning and zoning has nothing. It's the same as other members have said, just to Jimmy and the chief. Just thank you for all your guys did. I know the citizens out here appreciate it. I know we do. And it was impressive to see you all do the job you did and your guys do the work they did.
Vince?
Public Works has no report. Thank you to all, same as the others. Thank you.
Pam?
Parks and Rec has nothing and I ditto everything.
I have a couple things. First of all, I'd like to call Brian up. I'd like to tell y'all that something that went on this week in the city that was a very big plus.
Mayor, council, last time we met, I was proud to announce that Winston Industries had made a multi-million-dollar investment to the Kentucky Reinvestment Act. This is even larger. Barrel Craft Spirits here in Jeffersontown had a private ribbon cutting last week. The mayor was able to attend with Mayor Greenberg from Louisville. Quick backdrop on that. In 10 short years, they've become a national brand in over 49 states here in this country. The new 31,000 square foot state-of-the-art blending facility features 8 blending tanks with 64,000 gallons of capacity. This increases their blending capacity to over 500%. This is a $15 million investment, which the city of Jeffersontown has no financial responsibility for, but we yield that or will benefit from that as well. And it gives, and they will be increasing their payroll as well. So that helps the city. So Jeffersontown continues to be a value-driven city. You guys doing a great job. Sitting here watching you tonight, you look very strong up here. You're doing a great job. And I will also say, and I'd be remiss without saying this came about largely through hard work of Scott Thompson, the director. He's still here?
Yeah.
Oh. Scott worked diligently on this for months. And then our city attorney as well jumped into it. They got this thing done. So kudos for
Where is it?
everybody. Good teamwork.
Where are they located, Brian?
They're on Washington Trail, just north of Bunsen. They relocated. So they're going to be
okay.
north of Bunsen, about where the cat.
Do you know
Yes.
where the volleyball thing is?
Yeah, we're Mid-America.
Yeah, it's right there. It's
Oh,
at-
okay.
It's at driveway before you get to Mid-America
Okay.
Oh, cool.
on the left-hand side.
It's a great location.
And I believe in next month, we
Very
hope that
nice.
the mayor's able to make a nice announcement on something else.
Yeah.
That's
Brian,
a
do you know how
different-
many employees they have?
I do not. I can get with revenue on that. I don't know.
Steve,
But what,
60 something, I think is what they told
and
me.
I don't, but I don't know
61.
if they're ramping up anymore, but this is a nice investment.
Nice
Thank you.
facility over there. Nice.
Brian, thank you and Fred and Scott for all your work.
Well, it's a team down here.
Great job.
You want to know something funny, guys? I had to go there and I was next to Mayor Greenberg and they wanted to do a toast and they poured the bourbon in a cup and they handed all of us one. Well, I've never drank bourbon in my life. And so they wanted me to take this swig of bourbon. I think I was on TV with a really screwed up face because that was the worst thing I ever tasted in my life. And all I could say was I had a bad tooth and it was corrected after that. So anyway. Other than that, we had a great gaslight. Thanks to each and every one of you who partaked in it. We really did have a great gaslight. It was packed. We had no incidents at all. Only one little incident, I think, on Sunday afternoon when a lady wanted to drive up the wrong side of the road or drive up the road. Other than that, I can't think of anything. Everybody got along great. Police were great. Thanks for all the sheriffs who came out here to help our police department. Thanks for all the good food that they cooked down there. Thanks for everyone who took partake, the Public Works Department. My hat's off to them, as you well know. And thanks everybody for joining in and helping this be a very successful gaslight. Other than that,
Can I
Yep.
ask a question real quick? Debbie did a head count on Wednesday. Do we
Oh,
know
yeah.
what
How many
the
did we
total
have?
was? I'm so curious.
on what?
The
When we
business
did the business
appreciation
luncheon.
lunch.
Yes.
1,026.
Wow.
Mhm.
Lunch.
For the luncheon. Mhm. Yeah.
Do we have a date?
And you
yet?
know what?
That's those hamburgers.
And
I
that's
think.
fantastic. And you know what? My hat's off to the people who cooked.
Yeah.
And you know what? Those old guys don't have nothing on those young guys. We had an 88-year-old. As a matter of fact, he'll be 88, I think, this week. And we have another one that's 80 and another one that's 70 something. And you know what? They put those young guys to shame. So thank you all for cooking.
Mayor, I would advise anybody that's involved with it next year, since this was my first one, don't stand next to Mark and try to hawk hot dogs while he's doing hamburgers.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah, I got thumped on that, so. No, I could tell you'd worked in a cafeteria. It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun.
My finger hurts from.
Mayor, if nobody has anything else, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Vince is already out.
Meeting adjourned. Man, that was.